Hey, good people. So, as I've mentioned before, I'm in this interim period where my stuff is shipped, my tools have shipped, my guitars are gone. I have one guitar to practice on. I'm not buying new stuff. My books are gone. Another love of mine is books, and they're all gone. So, what am I doing with my time? Well, I do read a lot because I don't have a lot of my books with me. I'm read a lot about history. I'm a real lover of history and just spent 2.5 weeks in Ireland and the southwest of England. Um, and I'm reading up on a lot of history of some of the areas and sites that I visited, which is fun. Another thing that I love doing, which I don't get a chance to show on this channel so much unless I can figure out a way to weave it in, is I am a amateur enthusiast photographer. And I love taking photos, editing photos. Those of you who are access to me on Instagram or Facebook will notice that I like posting a lot of photos, places I go, just things I see, remark upon, try to make the best photographs. That does extend to instruments, like taking photographs of instruments too, but at the moment it's all scenes and outdoor stuff. So that's another way I entertain myself. I like to use the Adobe suite, particularly Lightroom, to edit my photos and make them look, in my opinion, as good as possible, as interesting as possible. And I use Lightroom as much as I use Logic, music software. So those are the two softwares that I use most of the time. So doing a lot of photography and photo editing, posting sort of travelogue stuff at the moment. Reading, I am, most of you don't know this because I don't talk about it on this channel, but I am actually a literature and mythology professor and have been for the last 17, 18 years. So it's the other side of my life. I'm really interested in publishing. I am a published author and like to stay active in literary fields as well. So I've always got a keen stack of books to get through on my bedside, and because now I'm living without my book stacks, that has to be sort of electronic reading, which isn't my favorite, but one has to get by. So doing a lot of reading, catching up on some films that I haven't seen. I just saw The Northman and The Green Knight. I really like historical epics and fantasy dramas. So my son's been going on about The Northman, which I finally got to see, and The Green Knight, which is an adaptation of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, which is a medieval poem that I've taught for many years. So catching up on watching some films as well. Rewatching the Hobbit series because always got to have some Tolkien in your life. Always I like to read and write poetry as well. So that's something that I spend time on. You lot on this channel know me mostly from my instrument and music stuff, but I do like to combine the various art disciplines I'm interested in, and I do a series of poetic landscapes, or soundscapes as I call them, or poemscapes, where I take a reading of a particular poem and set it to music. So there are all kinds of things to do. Even if all you have is a computer and nothing else, you can stay creative, and that's the point of this video. Another thing that I'm doing is catching up on some favorite YouTubers and discovering a few more. A lot of these are instrument based. Catching up on a few favorites. I tend not to watch for a few weeks at a time, then just sort of catch up in sessions, really. But I have other areas of interest on YouTube as well. I follow a number of historical, literary type of sites, a couple of book people who do book reviews, film reviews. Also music reviews as well. I've talked about them on this site. I follow quite a few review channels, whether it's music in general or specific genres of music. And I've got nothing but admiration for people that do that. It takes a lot of discipline listening to a lot of albums and or reading a lot of books and doing reviews for other people. So I've got nothing but admiration for those types. I've watched a few videos where people have recommended, or there's a certain buzz or a spike in the algorithm, YouTube trying to get me to watch something based on my preferences. And as I've remarked many times in the past, I've never fully understood the whole YouTube algorithm thing. Some of the stuff it recommends to me, I don't like at all. And also some of the stuff that is trending, and you know how much I hate that word, is god awful. And you watch it and you sit and wonder how this has, a couple of million viewers. Not everything. There are some things that are popular and worthily so, but there are other things that just confound me. And then I come across little startup YouTubers with very, very interesting content, fascinating videos that have 12 people watching it. So it's one of those things about YouTube I've never fully understood, but I try not to pay any attention to popularity as I troll YouTube, and I'm doing it a bit more than usual at the moment because I have time on my hands. And I thank you, people on this channel in the chat, for pointing me towards stuff, whether it's their own stuff or whether it is something they want me to see that has something to do with one of my videos. But anyway, that's how I'm keeping busy at the moment. Just thought I would tip you off on that, whether it's interesting or not. And we'll be back for more later. See you then.